Guys, welcome. We're gonna go into a new little segment that we're doing. It's our new Bachelorette Beatdown Top 3 list. So we're gonna go ahead and roll that clip.
Do a beatdown countdown. So here you go. Here are the top 3 ways that Mike Fleiss could spend money to improve the Bachelorette franchise. Number 3. Again, Chris, you're doing a great job, but wouldn't the after the final rose just be a little bit more interesting if someone else were to host it? Number 2, let's spend some money and bring in some celebrity lookalikes. And finally, the number 1 way that Mike Fleiss can spend money to improve this franchise, 2 words: fake titties. Let's get that 18 to 29-year-old male demographic going again. Good night, everyone.
Girls do.
No doubt. What's up with
Guys, welcome to everybody to the 5th Beatdown. Now I'm psyched to have everyone. We got a couple new guests tonight. We got the newly engaged Chris and Peyton. Everybody, round of applause. Love it. Congrats. And we got my man Kipton on with us tonight, straight out of San Diego. He's logged on, hanging out. And then, of course, the rest of our crew. We got Natalie Getz, we got Ashley Spivey, we got Marissa May, we got David Good, we got Jesse Kovacs, we got Wes Hayden, we got our Bachelor Beatdown in-house attorney, and, of course, our Survivor girl, Eliza Orleans. So, guys, thanks for joining us tonight. We're going to start off, you know exactly where I'm going with this. We're going to start off with Bentley, and Dave's shaking his head already. Dave, please stir the pot for me, buddy.
Well, he came back, obviously. I thought it was a little over what do you want to call it, blown up a little bit. I thought they didn't say anything when he came back, and I think the dude's just on there to make a name for himself, and that's all he was trying to do. He could have called her and done exactly what he did over the phone. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I can't hate on the guy. He's doing what he's doing, and they're giving him the chance to do it. But as far as messing with her, I mean, that's pretty messed up, honestly. It really is. He's just playing games with her.
No doubt. I have to say, he came on, and I think he said exactly this. Well, Ashley, I flew all the way here to see you. I woke up this morning, I put on my shirt, and you understand where I'm coming from, right? Everyone's standing there like, what?
What?
Wes, from Bad Boy to Bad Boy, what were your thoughts?
It's kind of like what Dave said. I think he's just there to, make a name for himself. And, you can't really blame the guy. I mean, I believe that everybody goes on that show to probably make a name for themselves. What are the odds you're going to end up with the girl? You know what I mean? So, I think he could have called her. I don't think he had to fly up there, but hell,
No doubt.
He's got it like that, apparently.
Hong Kong.
Hong Kong. Who wouldn't take it?
Yeah, but I said this before. He's getting the free trip to Hong Kong, but he's going to sit in a cubicle hotel room for 2 days or 3 days and see no one and do nothing.
No, but it's another episode on TV. It's kind of like Jake. When he left the show, he had to come back and bust me on my date because God told him that he was going to be on 7 shows and he only made 6. Maybe he had the same... What's he, Mormon? He was lucky he didn't ride up on a bicycle, fucking freaking folks out.
I'm going to go to Peyton and Chris on this one, the newly engaged couple. Peyton, as someone who's in love, I mean, what were your thoughts on this whole Bentley-Ashley deal?
I thought it was completely pointless. I don't know. She was way too hung up on him. I almost have to fast forward through the show when she talks about him now. It's just overkill, and she needs to move on or find another habit.
Chris, if that was your little sister, what would you have said to the guy?
Dude, that's a long-ass way to fly and coach, because he's not flying first class, because that's not how they do it. So he's flying coach 20 hours across the ocean, staying in some shitty-ass hotel where he can't leave for 3 days. They shoot for 15 minutes, and then they're shipping his ass out the next day, right away, to fly 20. I mean, why would you do that?
So you think that's definitely true?
For nothing.
What do you mean? What's definitely true?
I mean, granted, I'm the only one who has no inside info into production of Bachelor or Bachelorette, but do you think, I know Amazing Race, does decoy teams? If he's a decoy, if he's seen around Hong Kong, people could think he makes it farther than he does. Maybe they let him go out and explore.
Hong Kong doesn't watch that show.
No, but, Americans traveling in Hong Kong. Spoiling the show.
No.
I mean, there's
locked
still
up
a lot
all
of
day.
grasshoppers over there.
Honestly, if Bentley is the jerk that he portrays himself to be, I mean, if I were Bentley, I would sneak out. What are they going to do? Kick you off the show? You're already off. So I'm
True,
sure
they
he
don't have
found his
prize money
ways
to
to go
hold over
party.
your head.
I'm gonna go to the Bachelor Beatdown in-house attorney for this one. Craig, what are your thoughts, buddy?
I'll tell you what. I took a flight home from Istanbul. It was the worst flight of my life. I sat between two Turkish people that didn't speak a word of English, and I was actually in the middle seat, and I hadn't slept in like 30 hours, and I actually started to cry on the plane. So, I mean, you don't do that. Listen, Hong Kong sounds phenomenal, but with the way they treat you over there, like there's no way I'd do that again. I never want to go back to Istanbul. It's like a nightmare thinking about it.
Marissa, would you ever fly to Hong Kong just for a dude?
No. No, I mean, in that situation, no, I mean, there's nothing more to say about this guy. This dude is just overkill, overplayed, and he had nothing to say when he was there, which I think is what made it even worse. I think he had the chance to somewhat redeem himself by at least just being like, look, you know, I left and it wasn't there when I even left, instead of just saying everything else that he could possibly think of just to keep her there, doing these random touches on her leg to make you think that, like, oh, I'm going to touch you every 2 seconds to make you think that I really want you. And I mean, from her basically begging him to kiss her when she opened the door, and to him touching her and then saying that it's now a period, and it was ridiculous to watch. And I mean, had he wanted to come back though, she probably would have let him come back, and that I think is the sad part, but thank God he's gone. So
Kipton, if you had less than 30 seconds to talk to Ashley about Bentley, what would you say to her in less than 30 seconds?
Get out. I don't know why production didn't say something ahead of time. And I mean, that's what bothers me the most about it, is they know all this is going on, and they probably didn't say anything. And I also think Bentley probably was told, hey man, you got to come back. A phone call would be a chicken shit way to do this. You need to fly to Hong Kong. You need to tell yourself, or else you're going to look like a bad guy. So I bet he was told, this is the way to handle it. It's my guess.
No doubt. Junior, you're a pro breaking up with girls. What are your thoughts on this breakup, buddy?
No, I just think with the amount of production power that ABC has, they obviously contacted Bentley and said, you got to come back out. At least create a bigger storyline than what they created. It was bullshit. It was a smidgen of a conversation. Create something. Create a drama. Create a show. They just said, it was like when all of us were on the Bachelor pad, when they were literally making up rules as we went along, and they didn't know how the show was going to be. They didn't know what they were doing. They were making up rules on the contest and the kissing and the throwing the balloons in the air. They didn't know what they were doing. They were just like, well, let's see if some shit happens, and we'll put it on air. That's what they were doing last night, and it didn't go well. But I fault the production of the show. They could have created something to where it would draw people in. Instead, it was just a lame 5 minutes of nothing.
No doubt. I'm going to go to Ashley Spivey on this one. You've probably been talking to your girl Ashley. How is she feeling at this point in the show? I mean, to me, it looks like she's trying to please production by doing what they're telling her to do, but at the same time, she's trying to do herself and be herself, but she can't do both, and so it's perceived by us like she's not standing behind what she's doing. What are your thoughts?
Well, here's the thing about him coming back. I don't think she said at any point, fly Bentley out here. I think she wanted closure, but that could have been easily achieved through a phone call, especially with what was said. And I think once he got there, it's a lot like a breakup where sometimes two people break up and then the girl just remembers the good things about the guy, and she kind of builds him up in her head to think that he's perfect, and then once she sees him again, just realizes he's a jackass. So I think once she saw him in person and realized there was nothing there, she just saw he was completely full of shit, and she was ready for him to go.
Fair enough. All right, I'm going to move off of the Bentley subject. What do you guys think of the whole Ames makeout session in the elevator? I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to say that they got that guy sauced up. They pulled him off to the side. They said, Ames, you need to stick your tongue down this girl's throat. And that's the end of story. I'm going to go to Kipton. We're going to start with Kipton on this one. Kipton, what are your thoughts on the whole Ames deal?
Why'd you go to me on this one? I think you're probably right. There was some element of knowing that obviously he has feelings for her, and she appears to like him. So I think they kind of played to that and said, "Hey man, now's your chance to do something romantic. What's more romantic than a 48-story elevator in Hong Kong, overlooking the lights, somewhere he'd apparently been." Didn't she ask him if he'd been there, and he said yes or something?
Yeah, something along those lines. Yeah.
So I think production had something to do with it, but I don't think that Ames also would be like quite the puppet as others might be.
No doubt. Do we have Trista? Did Trista ever log on? Or am I going crazy? No, Trista. Oh, Trista, you are here. What are I can't see you, but that's okay. What are your thoughts on the Ames makeout session? The guy who got his block knocked off in the boxing match, all of a sudden balls up and decides to make out with her. What are your thoughts?
Trying to redeem himself, and he very much fell short in my mind. I don't know. It just looked like he was swallowing up her face. If I was on the other side of that kiss, I would probably be pushing the elevator arm, trying to get out.
Fair enough. Ashley, what are your thoughts on the whole kiss? Good kiss, bad kiss? You were bummed?
He's so spontaneous. I mean, I think he just decided to do it. I think that he saw that he wasn't really progressing in his relationship with Ashley, so he just had to go for it. You could tell he didn't even think about it. He just went in there, got in there. He deserved it.
I think it was the first time he ever kissed a girl.
I think that he was trying to be ballsy and jump in and go for the kill, and he probably thought,
But
now
you
or
know
never.
what? It's
But then when there's a camera on you the whole time, it's it's gonna already make you feel a little awkward. So it was an awkward kiss. And
At least he didn't get turned down like I did.
that was amazing.
Oh man,
Wait,
Wes.
guys, wouldn't you rather? I mean, to the girls in the room, wouldn't you rather some guy, if you wanted him to kiss you, maybe you don't want Ames to kiss you, I don't, but if you wanted a guy to kiss you, wouldn't you rather that than what Lucas did, which is may I please kiss you? I'd be no. Now that you said that, no. So I don't know if the other girls feel that way, but that's.
Every time I kiss a dude, it's spontaneous.
It's kind of like I like to call Ames Megamind. I think that's my new nickname for his ass. I mean, if you believe that kiss, I think I believe Michael Jackson kissing Lisa Marie Presley at that video award more than I believe Ames kissing her. I mean, I literally started to, choke up for a second because that was nasty. I mean, and I'm surprised. Listen, Ames could have probably kissed her subliminally, mentally, with that brain instead of actually putting his lips on her. No shit. He just gets that and goes, Ames.
I think what Eliza was saying is right, that you want a guy to grab you and take you and be passionate, but only if they're a really good kisser, and he didn't look like it at all.
And you don't want to make out with Megamind, period.
No. Natalie does.
I would totally make out with Megamind.
Dude.
I bet the whole time he was thinking of every single possible scenario in his brain. He didn't even enjoy the kiss because he was well, what if I do this and that? And then it just looked awkward. I'll teach him.
Didn't it look like he read a book about making out with a girl?
Yeah. Junior, Junior brings up a good point here. Junior, go ahead.
It looked like he studied the entire time they were in Hong Kong. He was studying in the room how to approach and make out with a chick that you've never kissed before, and he studied really, really hard, and he took notes, and he did his homework, and then he went and did it in real life, and it came off as if he was, trying to pass a test. It was terrible. It was pretty awkward to watch. It was like when you watch something. It made me embarrassed. I was embarrassed for myself.
I hate that feeling. I hate that feeling.
I had a gut-wrenching feeling. I was embarrassed. But
dude, if I was that guy, I wouldn't go out of the house.
Yeah, when you're embarrassed for other people, you're watching TV and you're like, oh no.
Cameras over your head.
Yeah. Well.
All right, guys. We're gonna take a quick question. We got a Twitter question from Tearing It Up 3185. What do we all think about Ashley's emotional breakdowns? I'm going to go straight up to Dave with this one because I know Dave's going to stir the snot out of this one. What do you think of her emotional breakdowns?
Well, here's the thing. I think that she's doing pretty good. Jillian did great in our season, but I don't think people understand the pressure that somebody in their position is under. I mean, you're trying to entertain them. It's a little cute girl trying to entertain 25 or eight guys, whatever. That's a lot of pressure, day in and day out. You got to take them on trips. You got to kiss them. You got to do this. You got to do that, and you're thinking the whole time. I personally think that I would probably have a couple breakdowns as well if I was doing that. But, I mean, I give them credit because I know what they've been through. But to an outsider looking in, I just want to stick up for it a little bit and say that it is a lot of pressure, and especially for a girl, I think, entertaining that many guys and trying to keep that all together. It's very emotional.
Amazing.
No doubt. I'm gonna go to Marissa on this one. This is your girl, Marissa. What are your thoughts of her breaking down? Was she very emotional on your season of the show?
Actually, yeah, she's an emotional person, and I think I would almost rather see someone that is emotional and showing what they are feeling rather than someone that's completely blocked off and isn't open to the whole situation. I mean, I obviously haven't been in her position, but I know while I was on the show, I mean, watching Brad go through everything, he'd come sometimes to dates where he literally got 2 hours of sleep the night before because he's on a date that goes until 2 or 3 in the morning. He comes home, he does interviews, he gets up the next morning and goes and does interviews with media outlets and then does more bachelor interviews and then comes over to do a date with us, and running on next to zero sleep, away from family and friends, don't have anybody to talk to other than producers, especially in her position. She doesn't even have a housemates to sit and chat with. It's gonna get to you. She's not in an easy position, and it's not saying, oh, poor Ashley, it's so horrible, but it wears on you. I mean, just in our situation, we had times we were like, miss the family, and we just break down. And her situation, that's got to hit her a lot sooner than anybody else.
No doubt. Peyton, the newly engaged couple, I'm going to go to you guys. Peyton, do you like to see Chris cry? You like to, get the tears going over there?
All the time. He's a highly emotional person.
I'm a big crier.
Do you think Ashley's over emotional on this season, or is it pretty normal?
I tell you, Jesse, I fucking hate you for making me watch this crap. It was the most I watched it like last bit, and then I had to watch the rest today, so I wouldn't be like in the dark here. It's a boring ass show. Like
it's horrible.
She's like, Chris, you gotta pay attention. We gotta talk about this shit tonight. I'm like, man, this sucks.
But you know what? Like,
so boring.
And that was the most interesting episode when Bentley came back.
Yeah, I was like, oh, Bentley's gonna come back. I'm like, what's he gonna say? He was like, I want to hear about everything you've done so far. I'm like, what? I'm like, you've been gone for like 3 weeks, and the first thing you say is, how's your date's been with the other guy? Like, that was the lamest thing I've ever heard. At least, like, say something important.
Well, I think back to her emotional roller coaster that she's on. I mean, I think that's kind of how it goes for everybody in the season. Like Marissa was saying, lack of sleep, not talking to your family. I mean, that's how it goes. It's a part of it. But, I mean, she just somebody needs to put her feet back on the ground, and she needs to figure out what she's really there for and what she's really looking for, and they need to do something to spice it up because I'm bored to tears with this season.
I think they need to send like Craig on right now, and Wes. Send a couple guys on, like liven them up a little bit. Wes, get on that show.
Dude, like I told the guys, I'd rather jack off with a handful of sticker bows and watch that show. Seriously, it's that boring.
That is, prove it, YouTube. Prove
Wes Hayden, ladies and gentlemen. Wes Hayden, ladies and gentlemen. Speaking of being stressed out when you're on the show, Trista, you were a Bachelorette yourself. Is it easy to get super stressed out and break down?
Oh yeah, of course it is. I mean, just like you all know and have experienced just from your parts on the shows, you're extremely tired. You don't have people around, and luckily I was friends with the producers that were on my season, and I did have kind of a sounding board to go to, but in her instance, I don't know if she has that. I know some of the producers, and I know one of them in particular is very maternal, and I think probably is a good go-to person for her, but you definitely break down. I mean, it's the nature of the beast, but, in the end, I think what she's going for is what, I found with Brian, and, I don't know if she'll find it. I feel like she needs a lot of guidance, and she's kind of getting lost, and losing herself. I don't know that she would make the same decisions if she was thinking clearly, and who knows. I mean, traveling to Hong Kong is I've never been there, but I can't even imagine the travel that, you know, the stress on your body. So I don't know. I mean, yes, of course, you're going to break down, but in order to be in that position, you need to be a strong individual. You need to be a strong person. And I think what we're learning, unfortunately, is that maybe she's not ready. I mean, I really hope that she's ready, and whoever she finds in the end, that they last the long haul and they're the next to follow me to the altar, you know, whatever. But I just feel like, you know, I think she's showing her colors in that I really don't know that she's ready. And I really want love for her. I just don't know if it's going to happen through the show.
I'm going to go to Natalie. Natalie, speaking of crying, do you think Ashley should have cried over Bentley's outfit? I know you were talking about this earlier. You were bitching and moaning, if you will, about what Bentley was wearing. Tell me about it.
No, I liked what Bentley was wearing. Ames.
Oh, it was Ames.
He wore a polo underneath a long sleeve button down. And you guys, I'm not going to lie to you. It really hurt my feelings, and I feel like I've given him the benefit of the doubt every time, and when he did that to me, like, I haven't had my feelings hurt in a really long time.
Since I broke up with you.
Since you broke up with me on this show, fake get together.
Oh my goodness.
No, like, honestly, it's one thing to wear a polo. I get it. You have to golf. You're from the South, whatever. Girls might like them. I don't, obviously. But to put one underneath a long sleeve button down, it's like, now I will never sleep with
South?
I was like, yuck alert.
Dudes from the South don't wear like that. It's people from up north. I mean, ask Chris. Chris wears that on Cape Cod every day.
Oh,
Chris, quit doing that.
Little polo tied up.
Pink. Polo.
I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, you guys. There really isn't, but, like, it's just not for everybody. If you're going to do it, don't do it in a bad way.
That's right, baby.
Oh my goodness. All right, guys, we're going to move on. We're going to move on to this whole Mickey thing. So, as everybody knows, Mickey decided that he was going to go home on his own dime. He wasn't not his own dime, but you know what I mean. He's leaving. He wasn't going to the rose ceremony. Everybody thinks that, it was because of the whole Bentley thing, but I have another theory. My theory is this. I think that he went home maybe because Ryan got the date rose, and he was pissed about it. I'm going to go to Ashley on this one. Ashley, what are your thoughts on the whole Mickey going home thing?
I agree with you, actually. I remember him saying on the date he was just so pissed that Ryan got the rose, and then when he was talking to Ashley, he was like, I just don't see what you see in that guy, and I can't see him asking that question when she already said that he was over Bentley. So I think that he was actually talking about Ryan. I think it had nothing to do with Bentley. I'm not sure, but that's my thought on it. I think
you're right, Ashley.
Yeah.
You're exactly.
Or he just realized he was
right,
too
because
good
if you think
looking.
about it, Bentley was out of the picture, and nobody. No, because Ashley, you're so. I don't know why I didn't put two and two together. Because you guys, if you think about it, I mean, Bentley was gone out of the picture. She said she's over him, and she gave the rose to Ryan, and she looked him straight, or he looked at her, and he said, if that's what you're looking for, I'm not him, so send me home. And she said, well, then you better go home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's so crazy.
All right, I'm gonna run to Kipton on this one. Kipton, what are your thoughts on this whole deal, man? You made it pretty far in your season. If you were in Mickey's shoes, and let's say some tool bag on your season got the rose that you weren't into, would you have called it and bounced?
I can't knock him for it. And here's the thing: everyone put their life on hold. They're out here filming this thing, and now they're down to a third of the guys left. And she's now saying, "Okay, now I'm ready to pay attention to you guys. Now my head's clear." It's kind of like, where have you been the whole way through? The only thing I think Ashley might be right. Ashley might be right about the Ryan thing. The problem with the show sometimes is people always compare themselves to other people on the show, and they're like, oh, if you like that guy or girl, then I should go home because I'm not that guy or girl. But that's not the way the world works. I mean, if you look, I'll talk about me personally, then if I look at the people I've dated over time, they've been different people. There's things you like about certain people that catch your eye, and other people that are completely different might catch your eye. So it's not exactly about being that person. So I think that's kind of a hang-up that if that was the reason, Mickey shouldn't have left. If it was because, hey, I don't have quite the connection that some of these other guys do, then I respect him for it.
No doubt. Dave Good, being a fellow Ohio guy, do you back up your Ohio boy, Mickey, on bouncing? Would you have done the same?
That's a pretty hard thing to do. I put in my blog that I respect him a lot for it. I mean, if he's not into the girl and he feels like, she's looking for something different than him, to just walk off a show like that, I think everybody that's been on there knows that would be very difficult to do because, I mean, you're giving up a lot. You're giving up a lot of FaceTime. You're giving up just a lot of stuff that they know about now. People know about this show now, and they know what they're doing. So, I mean, he must have been in it for the right reasons. That's all I can say. So I respect him for just saying, you know what, they ain't working out. See, I also thought that it was kind of BS the way she handled it. She didn't even try to keep him there or say, like, oh, so she must have wanted him to go because she was just like, okay, kiss on the cheek, see you later. And he was just like,
I agree.
I thought for sure, like, she was going to maybe be like, no, stay, let's try and work this out. Nothing. Peace. Wow.
But then
Fair enough.
But then she cried hysterically after he
Yeah, wow.
That happens, I guess. I'm going to go to the Bachelorette Beatdown Council on this one. Craig, guilty for leaving or not?
All right, well, real quick, I just want to touch on one thing you said first, but when she started talking about Bentley to him, I just want to say Bentley is not, there's no way Bentley was out of her mind at that point. I mean, she was telling the guys, I needed this closure, this is all over, but that was just 3 days before. I mean, you heard when Chris Harrison said to her, Bentley's in this hotel room, she was like, shut up, you got to be kidding me. There's no way that she got over that quickly, and I think that had to be weighing on her mind still. It's one thing to tell a group of people, I'm over this, to help yourself get over it, but I don't think at that moment she was over it, and I think Mickey, when he did say that, meant Bentley. I don't think that he meant Ryan. I don't see a reason why production would have edited that way to make it seem like he was talking about Bentley and not Ryan. It just doesn't seem like there's any motivation for it. But I think the way Mickey handled it was perfect. Mickey said to her, he told her how he felt, and then not only that, but at the end he said something like, she's a great girl, and she's going to find, someone really, really great, but it's just not me.
Natalie, I'm going to go to you on this one. Would you date Mickey now that he's hot off the scene?
Let's make this easier. Who wouldn't you date?
Well, I wouldn't date you now. No, honestly, been known to like men. That's no lie. I love them a lot. I might spend, a few days with him on a tropical island naked, but that doesn't mean I'm going to date him. Dating just traps you.
Do you think it was cool for him to leave?
Okay, I'm gonna start being normal. Do I think it was cool for him to leave? Yeah, I do, because if it's kind of a situation where if Ryan and him are like night and day, he seems very even-keeled and steady and reserved, and Ryan's opposite of that, and he probably thought, listen, you gave him the rose, he's obviously making more of a connection with you, is this wasting my time? If so, just let me know and I'm gonna bounce out. And she probably said, yeah, Ryan's my type, and he's probably like, peace, and left. So, and honestly, I'm here waiting for him. If he wants to come over, I can comfort him a little,
Trista, how would have you felt on your season if somebody would have just popped off and left like that?
I actually think what he did was respectable. I mean, yes. Well, I think that it's hard to compare because I really don't think that I would have done what Ashley did. I don't think that you share all information. I think that she should have kept the whole Bentley thing to herself. And, it's like, do you talk about how many partners you've had? Do you tell each other when they look fat in jeans, is what I tweeted yesterday. Well, you try to keep some things to yourself. I think honesty is the best policy usually, but there is such thing as too much honesty, and I think she was being too honest. So that, I think looking back, I would not have done it that way, and I think if she hadn't said anything, he probably would still be there. But since she did say something, I actually think it was respectful that he left.
Fair enough. Wes.
Yeah.
Stir the pot for me, brother. What do you think of this guy? You think it was cool, hot, or not?
You know what? I totally got mad love for this guy. I think what he did was super cool. I'm surprised the producers let him leave, because when I was on The Bachelorette, I was wanting to leave in Spain. And I had a meeting with Martin and everybody, and I was like, look, I'm done, man. I've gone as far as I think I need to go, and I'm ready to go home. And they were like, you can't leave. You have to at least be eliminated at the rose ceremony. So I did, and I took it like a man. But mad love, dude. He wasn't feeling it. She obviously didn't give two shits about this guy because she just let him walk out. And, I like it.
Fair enough.
When
I'm
you
gonna
took it
go.
like a man, did it hurt?
What's that?
When you took it like a man, did it hurt? Or did you like it?
Well, you know what? Like they say, you're only gay if it doesn't hurt. So it hurt.
If you guys just saw the text message Wes just sent me, you'd be dying of laughing, but it's too inappropriate to say.
All right, moving on. We're gonna go to Marissa on this. Marissa, what are your thoughts on this whole Mickey ordeal? I mean, do you think it was cool for him to leave on his own? No girls left on their own on your season. What would you have done?
No, yeah, I definitely think, mad props to him for leaving early. Like everyone said, that's a hard thing to do. Not just to, just get up and say that you're done with it, but I mean, if you make it a certain distance on that show, you know everything that you've left behind, and to just say, I'm gonna leave at this point just to leave. I mean, there's a lot that goes into that decision. So, I mean, he obviously thought a lot about that, and whether it was because of Ryan or because of the Bentley thing, at least he left because, somewhere behind it, he wasn't wanting Ashley, and knowing that was probably the root of it all, regardless what provoked it. He left, and I think it's good that he did. That was a good move by him.
Fair enough. I'm going to go to Junior, and then we're going to move on. Junior, thoughts on Mickey leaving?
Yeah, real quickly, I think I have another theory. I think that there was three gentlemen that when she came out with the information about Bentley coming back, they all got pissed and said, well, I'm done. And as all of us guys who've been on the show know, that sometimes we all talk and we stick together and we're like, yeah, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. I think three of those guys were like, I'm done with this shit, because if she likes this guy and she's not telling us, and she's not being honest with us, but yet she's telling us that we have to be honest with her, they all kind of banded together and said, okay, we're done with this shit. And Mickey was the only one who got on the boat. The rest of them were like, dude, I want to be on TV still, so sorry, buddy, you're out. But I think his plan backfired, because I think three of them were all talking about leaving because they didn't want to be there anymore, and Mickey was the only one who actually left. So I think his plan backfired.
Fair enough.
Do you think it did? Jesse, can I ask a question?
Of course, go ahead.
Do you guys think that Mickey could be the next Bachelor?
No.
He certainly has the look, the looks, the whatever.
It could happen.
Certainly is hot.
No.
They have the tendency to pull in bachelors that have zero personality whatsoever, and this guy fits the bill.
Beautiful.
Mark my word, Ryan Key will be the next Bachelorette, because America likes that.
Gross.
I know, but America likes that.
Then they'd be
I don't
editing
even
him
know.
better. He's getting such bad editing.
America likes what?
The Jake Pavelkas of the world, our target,
Dude,
not America.
No,
Our target audience
America
likes
doesn't
boring
like
people.
Jake Pavelka
They hate us.
of the world.
They did.
But if you gave them something good, they'd take it. But they feed them chunks. That's what they feed them.
I'm gonna go with the lies on this one. I do think that I could see Mickey as the next Bachelor. I do think that he does come back at the Exotics in Fiji. When we saw the previews and they show the guy from the chest down coming back, and she says, "Oh, I really didn't want to send him home." I think that quite possibly could be Mickey, and
You
I
recognize
think
that chest?
Yes, I do. It's super sexy. With that being said, we're going to take a Twitter question from Amanda Please 90. She wants to know what we think of Ryan and if he's real or not. I'm going to go to Ashley Spivey on this one.
I think he's real. I think he's really that happy and that excited about life. He has love bursting from his chest, or whatever it is he said. But bless his heart, I don't think that's Ashley's type. I think he's made it this far because he's making her feel good about herself, and he's very reassuring, and he seems very into her, so why not keep him around? But I don't think he'll end up with her in the end.
Fair enough. Kipton, what are your thoughts on this whole Ryan P thing? The guy supposedly is, who's murdering a child in the background? Whoever it is, please stop.
That was me, dude. I was fixing to send Natalie something. Sorry.
My bad. All right. In any event, Kipton, what are your thoughts on this guy? He bragged about having 600 plus employees, and he's a huge energy nerd. It sounds like. What are your thoughts on him?
Well, I mean, he's obviously a nice enough guy. I think that the reason they won't end up together is because I just don't see any kind of edge, any kind of spice, or I mean, you know, it's good to be a nice guy, but you got to have something like, you know, that keeps your girl going. And I just don't see him having like any kind of edge to him that will keep Ashley on her feet. She's obviously very, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's a better question for Ashley Spivey, but she seems really like bubbly and like kind of adventurous, and she seems like she's got some like flavor to her. She's got some like, you know, she wants to go out and do things, and I just don't think Ryan can fulfill that that number.
Peyton and Chris, I'm going to go to you guys. What do you think of this Ryan guy? You think he can last, or you know, do you think he's a tool? What's your consensus?
You know, we were talking about him in the car on the way home from dinner, and I mean, I think he really is that nice, and I hate that they're trying to pin him as like the bad guy that everybody hates, and they have to have somebody to talk about. But I mean, I think that he's a good guy, he's there for the right reasons, and he's the kind of guy that Ashley needs to be going for. But then again, I don't know her, I don't know her personality, but I just don't think she's looking for the right thing right now.
She wants the bad boy.
Fair enough. Hey, Wes, mute your audio until that kid passes out for me, would you?
What is he? How do I mute it?
Hit the microphone button until it turns red. Sorry about that.
Being real though, he is. I think that he's obviously
Is that it?
absolutely gorgeous. But he, I think he's gonna. Someone actually commented on my post today, a fan, and they said that they think that Ryan is gonna be the perfect dad one day. He has so much life and energy. He'll be goofing around with his kids. He's young at heart, and like, I don't know. I can see that.
Fair enough. Any other weigh-ins? Eliza, Marissa, what are your thoughts on Ryan P?
I think there's no way they cast him as the next Bachelor. I mean, he's like way too annoying. I mean, I guess they did cast Jake, but I mean, I think like someone like Mickey, who's got less personality, but who's just kind of good looking and will just
like
play a
Brad.
background character to like the dramatic girls on the season would be more likely to be cast. But I guess you guys would know better than I would.
But I think there's something to be said about a guy that can't get along with other guys in the house. If there's a guy that all of them don't like, however, I will say this, that was our Jake. Nobody till this day still likes that kid, and they made him the Bachelor, so.
I don't think that it's that they don't like him.
It did.
I honestly
No,
think
it
it's
is.
the producers sitting around being like,
Nope, it is.
somebody-
That's wrong.
No,
Totally wrong.
they pretty weird.
They don't like him.
No, come on, Payne. What were you saying? Go ahead.
I think the producers, I mean, there is no drama. Bentley's gone. They have to have something to talk about other than what do you think that she's doing on her date right now? So, I mean, we've got to have some guy in the house to talk about. Well, he's the happiest and most bubbly one, so let's pin against him that he's the most annoying. I don't think he has anything wrong with him. So what? He's happy. We need more happy people in this world.
Aw, I agree, Peyton.
Oh, that's great.
Chris, do you second that, or what are your thoughts on this?
This is gonna you know, all right. So all the guys, we've all been in the house before. Like, you don't start talking shit about somebody unless there's something like actually wrong with them. Like, doesn't matter how much like they were like, you know, like you see Peter Long being like, don't you hate this guy? Don't you hate Craig? Don't you? He's a lawyer. You must hate him. No, you don't say anything unless there's like, all right, like day 15, like this guy's getting my fucking nerves now. Now I'll say something. There's got to be something wrong with him. No offense.
Fair enough.
Yeah, did they really say that?
Yeah. Okay, we all hated you.
Yo, can I just chime in real quick? He is he is borderline as annoying as the weatherman. Like,
No way. No shot. No way.
No, but listen to this. Could you see him actually like breaking up with a girl? I feel like he's like too happy with everyone around him to actually tell a girl like, I don't want you. I feel like he would have such an issue. Like day one, he'd be like, I would love to keep all of these girls. I just can't do it. But I would love to keep all
he's
these.
probably never broken up with a girl.
Right, because he's so annoying that they all break up with him.
All right, I'm going to go to Junior now. Junior, I've heard you talk about this from your season. Junior, you're always talking about somebody from your season was so annoying. You know, what are your thoughts on Ryan P. and his annoyingness?
Yeah, I don't know if you can compare him to the weatherman, but to me it's pretty close because there's a point where most intelligent human beings can tell when they're getting on someone else's nerves. There's usually little ticks and things, and they can tell, hey, I might be talking too much. I might be getting on their nerves. I'm going to back off a little bit. He doesn't have that sensor. He's just completely oblivious to how annoying he's actually being, which is a terrible sign when you're trying to date someone, I feel like. If you can't tell that you're crossing the line or you're being annoying to a girl and you can't tell, that's a bad sign. How is it going to work? And I think I would love to see the guy get kicked off the show. I can't really stand him.
Fair enough. All right, guys, we're gonna go to the consensus here. I'm gonna start off with Trista with this one. Trista, who are your top 2 picks for this season? Who do you think the guys are gonna be that are gonna be there in the end?
Well, I would assume everyone's got JP up there. I mean, it just seems like they've got great chemistry and they're cute together, and he was extremely respectable and understanding about the whole Bentley thing, which I would have just gone off if I was on the other end. But
is the limo coming here?
Limo. So I love JP, and he really reminds me of my own Ryan. So I guess that's why I like him. Seems very genuine and kind and sincere. So him, and then I don't know. I honestly don't even know if I have a second. Like maybe Ben, one of the Constantine twins. I can't keep them apart. I know it's not Constantine, but he looks like Constantine. Ben F. Thank you. So maybe him, but I think JP.
All right, Kipton, do you think because of how strongly they're building this story, like Trista said, you can obviously see there's a connection with JP. Do you think that kind of faults him as being maybe the final guy? What are your thoughts?
No, I think that it's been, 20 seasons now, and I think they're beyond rules. I think they'd mix it up just to do that. But I don't know. I have to agree with Trista. I wanted to give you guys a dark horse and pull out the guy that you'd never expect. But the way that she talked to JP on that date and told him everything, and then actually from the outtakes when Ben F and her were talking about their dog voices, that was all the time. That was pretty funny, and I mean that was natural conversation that usually doesn't make it to air when they're being funny. And I think they had a pretty good rapport. So I could go with the same 2 people.
Fair enough, Marissa. Who do you think your girl's going to end up with?
I think it's a toss-up still between JP and Ben F. I think both of them are kind of starting to...
Super jealous.
I think they're very different. I think you have JP being the guy that's just giving her, exactly what she wants to hear. That's that passionate, over-the-top relationship that a lot of girls maybe fantasize about. And then Ben F's your stable, real relationship, the one that takes it slow, the one who's slowly coming along, and seeing him kind of confess exactly that he was a skeptic and he's completely changed. I mean, that's what this show does to you, and to know that it's hit him, I think that's a sign that he's definitely in it for the right reasons, and a lot of the times that's all it takes is just someone to really put themselves out there, and I think he's going to start maybe pacing ahead of everyone else.
No doubt. Natalie, who would you like to see her with?
Ames or JP? JP because obvious reasons, but Ames because despite the the wardrobe malfunction, I don't know, I just think they get along really well. They're both kind of brainy, a little nerdy, and they're both hot and fun and cool, and they complement each other very, very well. And she brings out a fun, playful side in him, and I have a feeling that doesn't come out often. So
fair enough. Junior, who do you think? I know you're a fan of the wine guy. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, like Kipton said, I wanted to pick a dark horse, but there really is none at this point. So I'm going to say Ben F and JP, top 2.
Fair enough. Wes, I'm going to go to you on this one, brother. Do you have a dark horse for us, or you got the same consensus?
I'm going to make this short and sweet. Ladies, you all look wonderful. Guys, it's been good to see. Ryan and Jake should get together and have a butt beat tug of war contest. Get married in New York. Be happy with each other. The people that she's going to marry is either going to be JP or Ben. It's done. That's a wrap.
Fair enough. Dave, any secrets we should know about, or are those the ones?
No, Ben F and JP, but I think she ends up like Brad and Emily, just by herself.
Fair enough. Ashley, any inside tips we should know about with your girl?
She's happy. I had brunch with her on Sunday, and she
was
seemed too sad. Seeing friends though, she was seeing friends. But I like JP. I think he's adorable, and I'd love for her to move to New York. But I think Ben is really funny. I want to go on a double date with him and my boyfriend and Ashley. So I don't know. I can't pick. I like them both.
Fair enough. I'm gonna close it out with my 2 attorneys here. Craig, what are your thoughts? Who's she gonna end up with?
real quick, just a side note. A dog just shit in between my legs. But, no, on a side note, I would actually like to
That's
see...
your dick, dude.
I would actually like to see her end up with... I'd like to see her end up with Ames so that he stops studying so hard and stops getting so many degrees. I just think his curriculum vitae is maxed out. Like, he's wasting paper at this point.
His forehead's going to explode if he keeps studying. It's going to actually explode.
If he had a wife, he'd have something else to do other than get degrees. So I think she should end up with Ames.
Fair enough. Eliza, what are your thoughts?
I think Dave said it. I think she's going to end up with no one. At least no one from this show.
All right, all right.
Maybe she'll meet someone on Bachelor Pad next year.
I'll be in New York tomorrow. I'll try and find her.
Oh,
Eliza,
man.
you just want JP.
We got a Twitter question from Tweet This Babe. Peyton, can you show us your ring, or is that not possible? They want to see your ring, Peyton. Chris, you're on the line right now, buddy. They're gonna judge you.
No, because actually...
We don't have the ring right now. It's being sized.
Yeah.
Fair enough, fair enough.
This is really sweet. I'm actually wearing Chris's mother's ring right now.
Yeah, she's wearing my mom's ring.
Oh,
that's
So I'll get
sweet.
back this weekend.
fair enough. All right, guys, it was a crazy night. We had a ton of people on the beatdown. Thanks for joining us. Until next week, later.
Later, guys.